but he's in the trailer.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 65. I'm your host, Taylor Evans, and I have a little bit of a cold this week, so bear with me. I've been trying to mute myself on the stream as I go into like a coughing fit or something. But anyway, I'm of course joined by Anthony Dennis. How are you, sir?
Pretty decent. How are you? Got a cold, apparently, so not good.
Are we all sick?
I mean, we've all had a cold, yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm still kind of getting over the flu, so body pains and all that kind of fun stuff. So
I need a time.
Nobody cares, Matt. Just get over it.
I care.
Matthew returns. How are you, sir?
Yes,
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome back.
I'm a little
to the
tired
podcast.
after my 5 a.m. shift.
Excellent.
Everything's been good.
All right.
Trailer what now?
Trailer what now?
Okay, everybody's talking at once.
Okay. And
I
then
don't know what's going on.
Andrew Duron, you made your return. Welcome back, sir. How are you?
Back. I'm doing well, thanks. Everyone's kind of sick, so I'm gonna stay on this side of the internet and drink my water.
Yeah.
Let me just transpose this over the
Just
internet
chill.
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, go ahead.
No, how's everyone doing? It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks. Been busy, so.
Yeah, it's been a party since you left, and not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah.
This one episode, we dangled a mic from a ceiling fan.
Yes, we did, and it
That
worked
sounds dangerous.
semi-successfully.
It was okay. It was okay.
Got the job done
Yeah.
with 3 people in a room.
Yeah.
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 All right, so I totally skipped over this part. Anthony, what have you been playing this past week?
Gee, I don't know really. A bit of everything. I haven't really been kind of dedicated to one game. I finally got into the Division 2. I'm not too sure if I played it last week when I was on, but jumped into it this week and been streaming a little bit of that here and there. I'm quite enjoying it, which is good. There's a couple of little issues that I have with it as far as like frame rate dropping and all that kind of stuff, but nothing game breaking, I would say.
Okay.
I'm mainly saying that just because of one of the reviews that we had on our site. We had apparently the reviewer, I think he was reviewing it on Xbox One, had a couple of issues with the game. And it's a Division game. It's a bit repetitive and it's a bit, go here, do this as usual. But I'm quite enjoying it. And aside from that, I haven't really been playing any Apex Legends that much. I played one night of it, and that was about it. Got a few kills, which was good, and won a match, which was even better. Mm-hmm. And aside from that, that's about it from me. So,
all right, Matthew, how about yourself? What have you been playing?
I've been busy. I've been playing a game that I don't know if I'm allowed to say too much, but I've been playing it with a friend so I could get a review done for the website, along with playing some of your standard stuff, more like Apex. CS every now and then, and a lot of Eve.
All right, fair enough. And then Andrew, what have you been playing?
A lot of different things. I did want to bring this up because I wasn't on last week. I got to go to a little the Mix. The guys at the Mix. I go to their events sometimes. I do indie games and I have to play a bunch of fun little indie games. I'm forgetting the name of a few off the top of my head, so I apologize. But I played like Windjammers 2, which was awesome if you're into Windjammers. That game's super fun. I played a game called Ramen. It was
okay.
Check out this trailer. It's really wild. You're like a dude in underwear throwing like soup at each other. It's
okay.
It's insane.
That's not weird at all.
It's super weird. I talked to some of the developers. I'm like, this is weird. It's like, good. I hope it's weird.
It seems amazing.
Yeah, it's like this like multiplayer like game where like third person, like you're throwing soup at each other. It's weird. And it was like kind of cool because you could like skate, like kind of like a Splatoon. Like you would put your soup on the ground, you'd like go off ramps and stuff. So it was an interesting little game. And I'm forgetting this one game. It was like oh boy, I'll have to bring it up later. But it was like a Trials game sort of, but it was like 3D. So you're kind of like navigating down a hill.
Okay.
Like once you fall, you would start over at a checkpoint, and like it was cool because you're like drifting, and I was just kind of like a fun little like. Not a relaxing game, but like a game where you would just like sit there and focus. I enjoyed that one.
Cool.
Black Future 88 was a game I played, which is also cool, but that's been around for a while. It's like a weird like roguelike type game. You're like, getting new guns, and there's like people hunting you. It's it's weird. I don't know when it's coming out, but I've seen it at a couple events before, so it should be out sometime soonish. Yeah, I don't know if it does have a date, but just from what I've seen it at, it seems like it's been kicking around these places for a while. Okay. And then the one big game I'm playing is Sekiro. Sekiro. How do you say? Does anyone know?
Yeah, just Sekiro.
Sekiro.
Yeah.
Okay, Sekiro. That game's awesome. I'll probably end up beating it. The first From Software game I'll probably beat.
Really?
Unlike, someone in the chat said, "What about Contra yet?" No, I haven't beat Contra yet. But I'll probably beat Sekiro before I beat Contra, and then I'll get back to Contra. It's on my to-do list. On my long to-do list.
Priorities.
Yes, Sekiro is a good game. I like the combat a lot, which is why I think I like it better than the Dark Souls games, because the combat is actually good.
Ooh, okay, that's a hot take right there.
It's not that hot of a take. It's not a hot take at all. The combat is terrible in Dark Souls. You just roll and then wipe.
Can't hit from behind for no reason.
It's a lukewarm take. It's a lukewarm take. How about that?
Yeah, it's
all right.
Not that hot.
And then die.
All right. Yes, this past week for me, I finished up my Sekiro review. Got that published on Tuesday. Got a 9 out of 10. Nice. I really like the game. I've been playing it off and on, where it's like I'm not gonna like ram my head into something for like 6 hours or something in that game. So it's like
Dancer.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if I get stuck on a boss or something, or it's like if I start learning a boss or something, then it's like, oh, it's not gonna happen tonight probably because I'm just like too tired or something. Then it's like I have no problem with just like setting it down, going to play something else, or like walking away. So that's trying to ease frustration. Yeah, that's trying to ease frustration or something, and so and stuff. So yeah, I'm almost done with it. I got sidetracked to doing a somewhat lengthy side quest to unlock the secret ending for the game. So I'm all set to do that once I do finally beat it. I think I'm at around the last boss just before, it's like the last boss trying to guardianing or like being a guardian towards the really late game stuff. So, yeah.
So sounds like are you using like a guide at all? Not like but like to look up like items and stuff?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you just know that's a secret ending?
So I've seen, basically, so it's like I've Googled, like, so I went around this place, and this is, all I'm going to say is, like, you can kill one of the serpents that pops about and everything. I'm sure if you've played more than, like, a few hours of this game, you know what I'm talking about. And so you can kill one of the serpents, and he drops a heart. And basically, yeah, he drops a heart. And so basically I looked up, it's like, what exactly do you do with this? And then on the wiki page for the specific item, it says, oh, it's part of the secret ending. So I was like, oh, sure. Okay. And then I progressed through the game enough, I eventually talked to like the child of, the divine child rather. And just like kind of on a whim and everything, I kind of go through her side quest or something because, you know, she seems pretty cool, you know, maybe I'll do a cool item or something out of it. Yeah. And it's like, one thing in Sekiro is like I always feel incentivized to do side quests because I feel like I'll get some sort of item or reward that will significantly help me, because you know it's a game, it's like looking for every single advantage you can, and then eventually it's like, oh, with this child I need like XYZ. Oh, okay. And then it's like, and she explicitly hints that it's like, oh, you're gonna have another option for an ending. So
yeah. So I think there was something that I was watching, like a stream or something. Apparently there's 4 endings.
Yes,
that's what I've heard. Separate endings.
Yes.
And I think like 2 secret endings or something.
Yeah.
So
there's from what I understand, there's a good ending, there's a bad ending, like morally good, morally bad ending. Then there's a morally bad secret ending. There's a morally good secret ending. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
How do you find the difficulty? Are you finding it harder?
I think
easier than.
I think. Overall, it's a little bit harder than Dark Souls.
Okay.
Than Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. Yeah.
Dark Souls. And it's a little bit harder than Dark Souls, I would say, and I think it's a little bit harder than Bloodborne, just off the fact that it's like you really do have to learn your opponents, sort of thing. You know, you kind of mentioned it in the combat earlier, where it's like, you know, it's just roll and then strike when you can. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then opposed to Sekiro, you need to know a lot more stuff to counter a boss and everything. Like, you know when to do what.
That's where my fighting game brain like takes over, where it's like, oh, like I gotta counter with this one. Oh, it's gonna sweep. I gotta jump.
Yeah.
Or you can sometimes you just make a guess like before it even happens, and you get lucky, or you get really unlucky.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I enjoy it more than the other.
Or if you may, just mash attack and die.
You can get away with mashing for some of it. I'm not gonna say I haven't been just mashing on the R1 button at certain points.
Right.
But you can't on certain bosses. They're there to teach you a lesson. So you have to do this certain thing. But most of the time you can get away with, teasing certain types of techniques.
Right. And one thing that I do like about Sekiro is that it lets you be aggressive. Like, it promotes you being aggressive.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, in order to accurately deflect, or it's in order to actively like break the posture, you'll oftentimes need to attack also and have them block your attack just to contribute to the posture battle. So
Yeah.
I would say like most of the time you need to be aggressive on certain bosses. Like I'm usually just aggressive because it's like how I like to play. But I don't know. It's just more rewarding to play that way, I think.
Yeah.
With traditional, Dark Souls games and the Bloodborne ones, you're punished for being aggressive. You're punished for playing greedy, is the way I phrase it.
Yeah.
Don't be greedy during a boss.
Right.
Like you get your hit, you get out, and you call it.
Yeah. No, I definitely have used that, like talking to myself, like, no, just 2 hits. Don't get greedy. Get out of there.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, just chill.
We always want that one hit. You just need that one hit. Like
I
died
go
today.
for that one hit extra.
I died today on a boss. I needed one extra hit. I should just maybe I was getting too greedy at the end, or maybe I should just got a little more greedy. Like, I was.
Yeah,
exactly.
Could have snuck one more hit in there somewhere.
Right.
It wasn't a boss that like slows your movement down, so I was extra mad and like it felt like I was playing Dark Souls. So not fun.
Fair enough.
All right. So, yeah. Main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com, and this is, by the way, Power Up Podcast episode 65, being recorded live on March 30th, 2019, just to date things a little bit. What?
We didn't do the intro.
That's right.
I did part of it, which I followed up there. And then we have a community Discord, which you can get invited to by clicking the link on the sidebar of our main website, facebook.com/cod.net, and then facebook.com/powerpod, Twitter @cod.net, Instagram @cultureofgaming, youtube.com/cultureofgaming, twitch.tv/cultureofgaming, and myspace.com/powerpod. You guys, the audience, can ask us questions everywhere while we are live, but we do prefer if you ask questions either in the live Twitch chat or in our community Discord, and we will answer them as we see fit. So yeah, all right, getting right into the gaming news, our leading topic is Valve teases, but also confirms, its rumored own in-house developed VR headset called the Index. From this teaser, we know we're going to get more concrete details coming in May 2019. This differs from the HTC Vive, which you often see paired with Valve's names, because allegedly the Index is going to be entirely made by Valve. They're not doing like any sort of like hardware partners necessarily like they did with HTC. And it seems like based on past interviews done with Gabe Newell regarding VR, it seems like the original idea of Steam VR, which was basically a universal API that various headset makers could use, didn't really pan out. And because, Valve expected a lot more hardware companies to enter their own VR market and everything, but that just didn't happen. We still only have Oculus and HTC for the most part. And so, yeah. And then furthermore, Gabe Newell says he's always been jealous of Nintendo because they can make both games and hardware. And then, for reference, this is the first significant, VR refresh that we've gotten since 2016, which is when the Vive and Oculus originally came out. So, what are our thoughts about this? Andrew, what do you think?
VR is such a weird thing. I don't know yet. Because I know there's people are always coming out with new headsets. I feel like I've heard Oculus is making the wireless one.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're also making the Quest, which is its own self-contained thing.
Exactly. And it's using the tracking in the headset now. So I don't know, if Valve's how they're gonna compete. We'll see, I guess. But,
yeah.
Because if they want to go the hardcore way, they're gonna get the things where you have to plug them into the wall. If they're gonna go the more the easier way, like Quest, they're gonna do it in. So I don't know. And then the price is important.
Yeah.
VR is in the Wild West right now. So
yeah.
Definitely things to watch.
All right, Matt. What about you? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't see why is VR still that big.
I mean,
it seems like it's died down quite a lot since then.
Well,
so.
I mean, we'll probably touch a little bit later at the Sony thing, but yeah, I mean,
Fair enough.
people are pushing it. Definitely it's a new medium, right? So
right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say exactly new.
Well, I mean, for it's what 2 years old for like actually getting like decent like hardware.
Yeah. I
mean, that's not.
I don't think it's like. I think there was a lot of hype around VR before it came out, and then it's like it came out, and then it like the hype superseded it. Right? It was just like there was no like. It still has the problem to this day where there's like no killer app to really sell like a piece of hardware. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a Kinect. It's something that everybody has, but nobody uses.
The thing is, not even everybody has it, though. That's the thing. There's still very few people that have it.
Yeah, you know? So if it was cheaper, everybody would have it, but no.
I think part of the issue is like the setup, because I have a PSVR, and setting it up is a pain. I have to plug so many things into different things.
Yeah.
And like with the Quest, we talked about the Quest, that's just like right there. You can just like one USB port. And it works well in that. Yeah. So that's what's going to be important is how easy it is to set it up and get it going. Because a lot of times I don't want to play the VR. I don't want to play my VR because I don't want to take it out of the box, set it all up, and then put this headset on for I don't know how long ever, and then put it all away when I'm done because it's just a gigantic bundle of cords and things. So
that's fair enough.
Going along with that also depends on kind of the quality of this. I mean, Oculus and what's the other one? I forget.
HTC.
Yeah. They both make very competent products. I mean, unless they meet or exceed this, I don't really see it going anywhere.
Yeah. I'm kind of the opinion that VR was a little bit ahead of its time for the implementation that they wanted to do it, right? So instead of like these standalone units and everything, you had to connect it to, at the time, a pretty beefy system. You know, your system at the time needed to be able to drive two 1440p screens at like 80 some odd FPS or so, or I think the cutoff is 90. But and so it's like in 2016, it took a pretty good rig, like a very above average, like enthusiast level PC rig to hook up to. But now it's like, here we are down the pipe, you know, almost 3 years later, and it's like, it costs a lot less money to have a system that can drive two of those screens at 90 FPS. So I think
that depends if you have the 1440p or the 4K model, though.
There isn't a 4K.
I don't think it's out yet.
There's no 4K.
I know that like they're like China one, but they exist technically.
Okay, no, I'm not. I don't want to deal with any Ally Express BS. Okay, no, we're talking about Vive and Oculus for the most part.
But could you see Steam doing 4K though?
No, I couldn't actually. That's unreasonable. That's unnecessary. It's very unreasonable and unnecessary.
To me, I mean, VR is something like I think you said this, Taylor. It was released too early for what technology could offer. I think if they kind of, like with every VR headset, if they dropped the price on it, offered a lot more for consumers to kind of play on a device. I think VR is a great idea.
Okay.
They just need to, like, what do people play on VR? There's nothing really to play on VR.
Beat
There's
Saber
no real
and VR chat.
I was gonna say Beat Saber.
Let's go and pay $800 to play VR chat. Let's do it.
Okay. I mean, I think now like Valve is getting in a good time because people are just understanding what games work well in VR.
Yeah.
And not just trying to put everything possible that's like a first-person shooter in there. Trying to like Beat Saber is a good like look at it like this is a game that only works in VR because of just how weird and cool it is.
Right. Also, and then whatever that robot shooter game is really good too.
Robot Recall, that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Astrobot?
No, it's not Astrobot, but it's like
that is a game.
Okay, but it's like where you're in like this kind of like lab and you're like moving from place to place, shooting robots that come at you. With the
maybe
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I think I know it before.
Yeah,
there's some cool ones where like you can grab the bullet and then like throw the bullets and stuff like that. There's
Yeah.
There's definitely some cool ones like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're just getting like started on like the good ideas. I saw one. I think it was. I don't know if it was harmonics, but it was like a kind of like a gun rhythm shooter. Like you were shooting like rhythms. It looked really cool. I remember the name of it, unfortunately. But.
Okay. The only kind of going back to Matt's comment though about like 4K and everything is just like not that you wouldn't necessarily appreciate 4K it being so close, because you could. It'd be a little bit. It'd be a little bit overkill, I'm not gonna lie, but the thing is that like because Valve is doing this, they have access to, Steam runs the hardware survey every year or so, right?
Yeah.
They have access to very deep, and I mean Steam is by far the all-encompassing PC gaming platform, and so it's like Valve has access to a lot of data that what their users do. And so I don't think they're going to put, or to what your users have in terms of hardware. And so if this headset is traditional in the sense of you need to connect it to your PC system, then I don't think Valve is going to release a product that most of their user base can't drive. Because the fact is, most of the user base can't drive to 4K screens at 90 FPS.
Yeah. Sure. So judging by an article I've just kind of pulled up, this is looking to be very similar to the... with tech that it has to offer on the actual headset, very similar to what the Quest has to offer, the Oculus Quest. So one cord, it seems to be, with all these other added-on features like the Quest is going to have. So it's going to be a lot more, not as many wires and a lot more user-friendly for people to jump into, which I think is the way to go. And with technology nowadays, like compared to what it was in 2016, I think they're getting in at the right time with this, definitely.
And I mean...
Also, Matt, why are you in black and white still?
Bye, I guess.
Bye,
Rip
Andrew.
overlay. I figured I had it this way. I might as well keep it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, so, Matt, do you want to try to push back or rebuke any point made so far? Or just want to...
I mean, I still could see, saying, hey, they see the surveys going, people who have VR setups are people who already run 4K setups, so might as well do it.
Right, but like the current VR market isn't big enough to make it really a viable business venture, So it's like, and I think the biggest problem with VR is adoption.
I mean, I don't see VR as viable just yet. Still,
okay.
I honestly don't.
Okay.
It's still, it's not commonplace enough. There isn't enough games for it. We've listed 2 major games, and I think there's only 1 triple-ish A title for it since its release.
2, there's Doom and Storm. Oh, and Fallout 4.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Okay, that isn't a port.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're correct.
The standalone for VR.
Yeah.
Because you could port any game to VR and call it a day, but...
True.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't think games are at a point where, like, on VR, they're worthy of 4K in a sense. Like, there's not enough stuff.
I would appreciate the 4K, because I could, even with the 1440 ones, I could still see individual pixels. It annoys me to no end. I could see those pixels. I don't want to.
Then maybe, maybe... I know with the Vive Pro, so it's like, I know with the Vive, that was a somewhat common criticism. Yeah. And so with the Vive Pro, they increased it to 1600. And I think that seemed to land in a better spot.
Yeah, I think that did land in a better spot.
So
I think it's just a matter of seeing what they can do.
Yeah. But it's like, I still hold to the fact that it's like, I think the biggest issue with VR is adoption. And so it's I think releasing something that does 4K, or so I think it'd be reasonable if they have a model for 4K, if people really want it. But I think it's just not necessarily a standalone thing. Yeah, but I think if they were to do just like one single model of this thing, then it wouldn't be 4K. Because the big thing with VR is adoption, and if you need to drive 2 4K screens at 90 frames per second, then it's like people can't do that, and you run into the same issue.
They could do like an upscaling kind of thing, like what the PS Pro does, PS4 Pro does.
Well, okay, so much of like so much of the higher, kind of as Matt alluded to, is like so much of the need for a higher resolution screens on these things. Welcome back, by the way, Andrew.
Nice to have you back. The overlay is well happy.
Yes, the overlay gods.
I can't sneeze apparently. So.
Oh, okay.
You sneeze and everything just crashes.
Nice.
Try to mute Discord and it just...
He's not having it.
Okay, that's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But Matt kind of alluded to this. Is like the reason why they had such high resolution screens is so that people wouldn't be able to see individual pixels with the screen so close to them, right? So it's like that was part of the reason for doing 1440p, and then part of the reason why increasing that up to 1600. Yeah. So
blinking autoplay ads. I'll just say that far out. I just nearly had a heart attack, but cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess the big thing is wait for May.
Soon.
Yeah, soon.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, they haven't even announced any details on this. Like, they haven't dropped what it's going to offer. What
minus a name.
Right.
Sounds like Stadia or Stevia is a good way to go.
How do you pronounce it? I've always said Stadia since I've read it.
Stadia.
He was making a bad joke about the sweetener.
Stevia, you know.
Doodle Stevia.
Okay.
Well, Taylor alluded to it last week, and that was his in-joke, so, you know.
Everybody's joke, apparently. I feel like I've heard it.
That would require me not working during
I don't know, just don't name your product something dumb, okay? That's like...
Hey, man, names are hard. People are...
I mean, why Stadia? Why?
Well,
like,
why index?
I know, that's... Okay.
Exactly, like, why?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not using the index or anything from this, but I'm just saying, you know, like, I guess, like, tech naming schemes are hard, you know?
I still think, I mean, minus their laptop line, Razer has the best naming scheme.
Yeah, I would agree with you on
like
that.
snakes and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, but it's like each line correlates to a certain, like, creature that, or, like, species
like the keyboards are spiders. The mice are
snakes.
Snakes.
Yeah.
What's their latest laptop?
They're melee weapons. So you have like blades. You have blade stealth.
Razor blade. That's right.
I want the Razor bat.
Razor baseball bat.
I want the Razor katana.
Named after mythical creatures.
Yeah, I want the Razor katana.
They've got like a.
Isn't that a thing? The katana.
No. Oh, it's like mythical sea creatures for their headsets. Yeah. So it's like they do like the.
And they have a new line for their microphones and camera, but I forget now.
It's like mythical sea creatures also. They have the siren.
I think that's just
their microphone.
That's right. It's a siren.
Their fight stick is a Pantera. I don't know what that means.
But I think that's
I don't know.
Okay.
It sounds like a place.
Their mice or their mouse pads are bugs. The Firefly Stereo. Not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, like...
No, not sponsored by Razer.
Totally not sponsored.
I don't have any Razer products. I don't have any Razer.
I've got a mouse pad.
I have the mouse and keyboard because they are amazing.
I have a few laying around, but I don't use any as of right now.
You know, Razer, if you ever do feel like we wouldn't have any objection.
I wouldn't mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then I guess like...
That's enough.
But then, like, I guess you compare it to like another tech company like Logitech or something, where it's like they have it's like a lot of their mice fall into the G500 series, but then they also have the G900 series of mice, and their keyboards are also like the G913 and whatnot. Also, so it's just like there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to that.
Sure. If they had gone 914, they could have gone Porsche 914.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Taylor, who would you rather be sponsored by out of the three? Logitech, Razer, or Corsair?
Probably Razer. I don't know.
No, you would never choose Corsair after that incident.
To be fair, it's like Corsair has a decent naming scheme. Also, their keyboards usually have K somewhere in their model name, which is nice. Except for their strafe.
Same with the G's.
Yeah, except with the strafe. Their mice are named after like sea weapons. So you have like the harpoon, or like pirate weapons. So you have like the harpoon, the scimitar, etc.
Isn't scimitar like?
It's a sword. It's a sword that was commonly used among pirates.
Yeah.
Then.
All right. Anyway. So yeah, but then it's just
good
like
talk, everybody. Good talk.
Good talk. And they don't even get started on monitor names.
Oh no.
There's no point because there's no way to change it.
Yeah. Okay.
At least we have Razer trying something.
But then, we were talking about like Google Stevia, right? It's like, Stadia is such a weird name for it, right? I don't understand. It's like
Stadium. It's short for, isn't it?
I think it's a plural of stadium.
Yeah.
I thought the plural of stadium was stadiums. It's like, I don't know. Stadium doesn't end with an S. So it's not like you should do like cat.
What does stadium mean?
Yeah. I wish they would have kept it just like Google Stream. or something like that. You know,
Yeah, or like
which
you
is what
know,
they beta
Project
tested, actually.
VR or something. You know,
or
I don't know.
yeah, or just type
Whatever.
it as like Project Stream or something. You know. Scimitar noobs. Okay, I'm sorry, I was not up on my pirate
The
weaponry.
plural of stadium is stadiums.
Okay.
Is it?
Okay.
That was a bad joke.
The
That's okay.
more you know.
Well, you type in Stadia and it comes up with stadium, so I think it's just like another word for it. A method of surveying in which distances are read by noting the interval on a gradiated rod intercepted by
Yes.
2 parallel crosshairs.
Of course.
Oh yeah, what, you didn't
Alright.
know that? Come on.
Stadia is the Latin plural version of
So
stadium.
it's a spirit level.
Well, I'm sorry we don't
In
speak
a
dead
sense.
languages here.
Google spirit level. Heck
All right.
Or-
Honestly, the only reason why I could think of why this might be named the Valve VR headset would be named the Index is because maybe it has like touch controls or something. I don't know.
Or
use
like
your
they're
index
gonna have
finger.
every Steam game on there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that'd be terrible.
Wow.
Arma
I don't
3 in
know.
VR. Okay.
Like you can already run the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, David, I want to pronounce it with a C, so deal with it.
Scimitar.
Okay.
Skim it to that. It sounds cooler.
All right. You know what? Tech naming streams suck, and so does
It's the Scimitar.
Scimitar. Okay. All right. Yeah. Pass me the Scimitar along with the knife. Thank you.
Can I?
And pass over the
Knife?
skizzers as
You
well.
mean the Knife?
Or the boomang?
Yeah. All right. All right. So let's move away from melee weapons and let's talk about some guns. All right. So Matt, Borderlands 3 got announced. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I think there were 2 trailers released. One being like a 1 minute 16-second one that was, just kind of going through what was it, like a statue almost, and he zooms back and it turns into the Psycho Mass.
Okay.
I
I
think
think
that
they're
one
like
is
all 3D
Yeah.
things in the game. Cool.
Yeah, they're all like the 3D models and whatnot. It looks awesome in my opinion. Then we got this trailer that's 3 minutes and 40 seconds of just like stuff. I mean, we see familiar faces from everybody, like people from the first game and the second game. I don't know. I haven't played the prequel, so I don't know if there's anybody from there. We see, solid 1 billion guns. Oh god, page crashed on me.
Nice.
We see we're going to multiple locations and whatnot, new places, old places. We've seen, the villains walking menacingly down the road as their army advances forward. All that good stuff. And I am personally excited for it.
Okay.
Handsome Jack is in one of the years.
This was apparently
Prove it!
This was
I
apparently
gave you the time.
the subject of debate. This was apparently subject of debate before the podcast started, and you caught the tail end of that discussion as we went live. All right, so Andrew, excited for this? What do you think?
Yeah, I really like Borderlands 1 a lot. Borderlands 2, I don't think I ever finished,
Okay.
but I played that co-op with a friend, and that was really cool for the 20 hours we spent dorking around in that. So yeah, Borderlands 3 is potentially cool. I don't know. It's been a long time. What is it? When did Borderlands 2 come out? 2013
13, I think.
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've had.
pre-sequel come out after that or whatever it's
Oh,
called?
yeah, I guess
but
you're right.
like the pre-sequel wasn't actually developed by Gearbox though. It was done by a third-party studio that under
okay.
contract.
I mean, so was
I mean, I don't know. They hopefully they find something kind of new. They tried some new stuff with the pre-sequel with like the whole oxygen thing, which I think was not great.
No, no, that was bad.
So hopefully they can figure out something that's a little more of a hook than just, hey, it's another Borderlands game.
Yeah.
We saw like that gun walking, so that they're clearly gonna do silly stuff.
Yeah.
they should be silly. It's Borderlands.
Right. I was a little turned off by some of the humor in Borderlands 2. It gets a little, especially the pre-sequel, it gets a little memey for me personally.
Okay.
I could see some of the moments from the pre-sequel, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully the writing is on point, and because that's what makes the characters. And then the shooting obviously has to be good. And yeah, I don't know. I'll definitely check it out. I did have a lot of fun. I'm just hoping there's something there, because in this world of loot shooters, You gotta do something that besides just having a bunch of guns and making the shooting feel good for it to be worth time, really.
Yeah.
At least it's not Battle Royale.
True.
It's true.
I mean, I like Battle Royale games. Apex Legends is super fun.
It took Apex Legends to come out for me to like Battle Royale, though. That's my stance.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Considering like
telling me you don't like Black Site in CS:GO.
Oh no, that's pretty good too, I guess. But that's like
That's a more
that's like
unique
mini
twist on
game
it.
Battle Royale, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Anthony, are you excited for Borderlands 3?
I've played 1 and 2. I kind of prefer 1 over 2. I feel after 2, the whole series just went down the plug hole.
Nice.
The pre-sequel was bad. What was the other one? The
Tales
Handsome
from the
Jack
Borderlands?
There's Tales.
No,
that was...
Tales from the Borderlands. That was done by Telltale,
Yes.
obviously. That was just bad as well.
Rest in peace.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
So I feel they need to go definitely back to their roots with what made the series good in the first place.
I mean, there's Gearbox behind it, so I think they can do it.
Okay.
We'll see.
No comment, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the
yeah.
clip of Handsome Jack you're talking about, they're using that as just a snippet from one of the old games as they're talking about past characters.
I know, but he's in the trailer. So you can't argue with that.
Mystery solved.
Wow, he's not in the trailer.
Wow. Okay.
But he was in the
Just
trailer.
happens to be a video that happens.
That
to show
was
the trailer.
part of the trailer. Anyway,
It's not part of the trailer.
Yeah, whatever.
This is such a dumb debate. Oh my god. Okay.
It's a video where they're talking about the trailers that they just happen to talk about Handsome Jack and they show a clip of them.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm excited for it, to be honest.
Okay. So here,
Matt's wrong.
Oh, they did Battleborn. Ha! Forgot about that game. Sorry.
I think we all did.
Now it's like, watch out.
Is there anyone that remembered Battleborn?
I remember playing that game at PAX and being like, okay.
This is bad. Okay.
It was
This
weird.
is a rip-off of Overwatch, wasn't it? Or something?
Okay.
Didn't they get done for copyright or something in that regard?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because
I
was
think that's
sued by
Paladins they
someone,
were
I believe.
thinking of. I think that's Paladins you're thinking of.
Yeah, I think it's Paladins.
Probably.
Okay. So before I state my opinion, is it true that the CEO of Gearbox, Randy Pitchford, did he do a magic trick on stage before the announcement?
Yes, he did magic. It was so dumb.
Okay, that's great.
He did like this card
I'm
trick
out.
where like
Bye.
a guy like signed a card and then like they opened a new box of this card game and it was a signed card that he pulled out. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it was some kind of mad magic.
Okay.
Look, she's a magician, okay? There's nothing wrong with
Look at how she makes this thing disappear. Okay, it's like magic.
There was some. I saw some good jokes floating around Twitter about the conference going on.
Okay.
It's like, and everyone look under your seat. Look for that missing USB key.
The
that's pretty
USB
good.
key has
Good
the
one.
copy to the game, and you're just like, oh crap.
That's a
what
free
have we
code to
done?
the game. Okay. That'd be
I don't know if
That'd
you
be
guys watched
cool,
it. It was a
actually.
rough presentation in terms
No, I
of
haven't
like.
seen it.
I heard they had
I was
issues
so-
with like
one of the
Windows Media Player
presentations,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, the videos were super choppy. They couldn't even play. Like they announced like a couple game like remasters of like one coming to PS4, and I don't even think it played. They had him do that magic trick, and it took like a good 10 minutes for this magic trick. I was just sitting there like, what are we doing? Why is this happening? Like, why can't you just announce it like normally? But
But you remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember it, but not in a good way.
For the wrong reason.
Don't have a positive feeling.
Yes,
that.
but you've heard of me.
Okay, but
Just
All right.
Jack Sparrow.
this might be a hot take. I'm actually not excited at all for Borderlands 3.
That's fine. You've never
Personally.
liked Borderlands, have you?
Yeah, I mean-
No, I honestly haven't. The game, like the moment-to-moment gameplay to me is very, very boring. Like,
Sure.
Okay.
yeah, it's just like the gunplay does not feel entertaining to me. That's the big thing with it.
I feel like how Anthony was
Yeah.
talking about the Division 2, it's kind of similar. Like, yeah, it's very repetitive, but I don't know. I think the variety in the guns is what helps.
And
a lot.
okay, I guess it's like so with Borderlands. So when Borderlands first came out, it was very unique, not only for the humor but also for the cel shaded art style, and of course the millions of guns they had in Borderlands. And the big thing was at the time, I think Borderlands 1 came out like 2010 or so, And so
Came out pretty early.
Yeah, pretty early. And so the big thing there was like, it showed off procedural generation really, really well, because like a majority of it's like there are maybe 100 or so different weapon models and everything that artists did and everything, maybe less, maybe a little bit more. But it's like, but then those are all thrown into an algorithm that says make guns based on XYZ to scale with level, etc., etc., etc. And so procedural generation was cool, and it's like in 2010 it was very cool. It's a very cool new thing, and same thing, but to a lesser extent in Borderlands 2 and everything. The Borderlands 2 took the very successful Borderlands 1 formula, ran with it at the time and everything. But all right, since Borderlands 2, we've had plenty of looter shooters go through the market and everything. We've had the likes of Division 1 and 2 come out now. We've had Destiny 1 and 2 and et cetera, et cetera. It goes on, it goes on, it goes on. So it's like,
and Anthem.
Oh, we don't talk about Anthem.
And no,
a lot actually, but
and so Borderlands. It's like I see Borderlands 3 announced, and it's like they're still touting the, hey guys, we still know how to do procedural generation. When procedural generation has evolved to the point of you can literally animate faces with it, it's just like using it to do stats on weapons isn't impressive anymore.
Yeah.
So that's that's sort of my take on it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the application of procedural generation. Yes, we've seen things where we've have procedural generation. I mean, Anthem, where it's just broken,
right?
And where you do it for world building and it just gets broken.
Yeah,
I mean, they're doing it here where it's within compounds or within a compound where it won't go crazy. It's they probably won't use it too much outside of just weapon stats.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I like handmade things and not just a computer making them.
Right. It's just like a lot. It's like, to me, it's like a lot of the gimmicks that might have made Borderlands successful, I don't think it's gonna work for 3 in like 2019. Something comes out.
Yeah, I think. Yep. They have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
With regard to the whole gun thing that was happening Borderlands, a lot of people liked Borderlands 1. I personally preferred 1 to 2. However, I felt that the guns were very kind of, can't really think of a word for it, but spungy.
Yeah.
Like you'd shoot and it wasn't meaty enough.
Yes, that's exactly my problem with it.
You can kind of compare this with Halo, like the original Halo, whatever.
Combat Evolved.
Combat Evolved, that's it. The original one didn't really feel that meaty either, but then when they remastered it, it felt a lot more kind of boomy and a lot more like kickback and all that kind of stuff. And I feel
Go ahead and finish.
I feel that that's kind of one thing that the Borderlands series has always missed, even with their later games as well. They need to really sort out their whole gun mechanics and the way guns fire in that series, particularly with 1 billion guns, for goodness sakes. So.
And it's like, that's exactly my problem with it too. It's just like, that's part of the gunplay. It's just like, it's not like, it doesn't
feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're making an impact on your target.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm shooting a gun. That's the thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to like,
it's been long enough since that point where companies learned, okay, our weapons have to be meaty, have to feel good when firing, have that impact.
Well, I mean,
like
games existed before Borderlands 1 where they felt better.
But more specifically in the looter shooter genre, where that is the main focus.
Okay. Well, I mean, Destiny,
because we've had
Destiny 1 guns.
Destiny does it well. Anthem doesn't.
Yeah. Right.
I know I've had some situations in both divisions where guns don't feel right, so I switch to something that feels better.
Okay.
Yeah, that Division's its weird own beast because you're using like real world guns.
Yeah.
So
and you shoot someone with a blinking sniper rifle. It's like 30 cal and it doesn't kill them.
Hey, you gotta aim for the head.
I did, and it doesn't kill them.
I have not had that experience, so I don't know what your problem is.
I've had it on multiple snipers, like multiple sniper rifles. You line up,
actually,
bang.
You gotta use one of the bolt action ones then.
I have.
Okay, I don't know what else to say then.
He's just facing harder enemies than you. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
okay.
I find it really annoying. Like with any gun, if you headshot someone, no matter what kind of gun it is, I mean, obviously, if you're using a pistol, it may not kill them, sure, but if you're using a sniper rifle, it should kill if you're doing a headshot in any game, no matter what it is.
I don't think Borderlands had that spongy of enemies, if I remember correctly.
No,
most enemies
the enemies'
They were
health
pretty spongy.
No, the enemy's health always seemed pretty decent, to be honest. To me, at least.
They seemed respectable to what they were.
Yeah.
What, like they had a good like if it was a big looking thing,
shielded.
it would take the shots that felt right.
Yeah, but again, to me, it's just like it's more to the feel of the gun. You know, it's like it's more to the feel of the weapons and everything. It's just like there's this really it's just like most assault rifles in the game. It's like I want to play with assault rifles, right? It's like most assault rifles in the game are made by this one brand. Oh, what's this one brand's gimmick? And instead of bullets, they shoot miniature grenades that have projectile travel time. And it's just like it doesn't feel good to play with.
I was always a big shotgun guy, and I think they did a pretty decent job with the shotguns in that game.
Okay.
But
yeah, shotguns are decent.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played Borderlands 2 since it came out,
Okay.
so like I can maybe because they did a lot of DLC and patches, I'm sure.
Did,
so maybe they probably worked on it, I'm sure.
Okay.
So
It's a fun game.
But it's like
I know that they haven't fixed the whole like bungee gun mechanic. I know that for a fact because of the pre-sequel. And that came out like 2 years ago, and it's the same gun mechanics as Borderlands 1 and 2.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That was one thing that really frustrated me.
Did the pre-sequel have like different gun manufacturers? Like were there like different?
I'm sure.
I
I think
like,
so. I played like a couple hours of it a
about
few
it.
years ago, but I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure there were still. I think
hopefully they do something fun with the gun mechanics besides like, oh, this is the energy one, this is the standard one. The
Walking guns.
Yeah, that's probably like a perk or something. Though there's no way that's like.
It's probably an enemy, to be honest, right? Like little.
Or it could be an enemy.
Yeah.
I could
or
see
it
it being like an enemy type thing.
Or one of the like the Vault Hunters like.
Special abilities.
Yeah, whatever. You pop a little walking turret instead of a standing still turret.
Yeah.
The one thing that I also appreciate with Borderlands when it comes to the looter shooter genre is they diversify their enemies really well.
That's right.
Like from area to area, you go to different things instead of division. It's just you have a heavy, you have a guy who runs at you, and you have a sniper, or Destiny where they reskin the same enemy 4 times over.
Yeah. It also looks like in the trailer they're doing a lot more with vehicles. Like the vehicles look like they're a bigger part in this Borderlands.
That to me was always such a cop out, honestly. And it's like less so in 1, but like a lot more in 2. Was just like how much of the game in 2 you spend in a vehicle. It's like one of your big marketing points for this game is how many like guns the person can use. But yet so much of the game is experienced through a very by comparison little customizability vehicle that just kind of one-shots everything.
Wasn't there like races in that one too?
I
remember like racing in that game or something. I can't remember exactly.
I don't know.
But yeah, the vehicles look a little more fun to use. I remember I only used them when I had to get somewhere. You don't really waste too much time on the vehicles.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully the classes are fun. We don't know much about them, I don't think. So hopefully they do.
Fairly sure it'll be the same as what it's been in the past.
It's
like 3.
Yeah, it looked like they have like the soldier. They have like the girls like a melee with all like the arms and stuff. Yeah.
The siren kind of abilities.
They do a really good job with all the DLC on giving new characters new abilities and diversifying them pretty well.
Yeah,
like, it seems like it's going to be a pretty same core as usual.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see the running one being the soldier's ability.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe the little gun guy is her ability.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
How do you think the humor will go over in 2019? Because like
that's
the world and culture is very, very different than it was in 2010 and 2013.
I mean, you could say the same about Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Why Doom Eternal?
Have you seen the trailers for it?
I just know. No, I haven't. Really.
They talk about it's like the politically correct term for demon is mortally challenged or whatever.
Oh no, I haven't. Okay. I haven't heard that.
There's a lot of jokes like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes like that.
That's not great.
And so I wonder if it's just like, is Borderlands gonna have to like go to a lot more toilet humor that's kind of just like universally like immature, but some people might find funny, or do you think they can still kind of make some of the edgier jokes that?
I think they'll continue trying to make the game edgy.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna work. They need to be smart. Like they need to be smart about their jokes. Like Like 1 had a good sense of humor because it was like it's dark, wasn't overt like sense of humor. It was just weird and like quirky.
Yeah.
and then 2 they really went overboard and like with that Tiny Tina character. I know people love her.
Yeah,
but
she's annoying.
She's not great. So if they continue, like if they ramp that up, then boy,
I really liked Mr. Torque. I really liked Mr. Torque. He was just like
he has some funny lines and stuff. Yeah. But I don't know. The humor is definitely something they're gonna have to be careful with. I'm not be careful with, but be smart about. Like because it could just turn somebody off so easily. Like
it could be.
They have to have good writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't need like
journalism. Baiting.
You play the pre-sequel, like Claptrap just yelling constantly is probably like great. Yeah. Because you can play as Claptrap, right?
The pre-sequel had a lot of like Australian humor in it. I think it was mainly done by 2K Australia, and all characters were like Australian as well, like all of the enemies. So I don't think anybody else got any of the humor.
It's like Mad Max.
From Australians.
It's like Mad Max.
So they had a lot of. I mean, I found the pre-sequel to be quite funny just because of. I don't know. It was like our humor in a sense. So
sure.
But
I mean,
I definitely get what you mean. Like changing up stuff and being careful with what they got to do.
Yeah.
And there's the meme culture is like way different now too.
Right. It's like I've never necessarily had a problem with any of the jokes in like Borderlands or anything. I'm just saying it's like I understand how the world is now as compared to 6 years ago, and it's like, oof. It's my
game rated mature, so
No, I mean it's not even that part. I just think that it's some of it that may have been funny then is probably not funny, just by stakes of like, that's just dumb.
I imagine they all evolve in some ways.
Yeah, that's what you hope, at least, right? Really hope there's a. I know I'm gonna harp on this, but I really hope there's like a find the USB like joke quest line.
There has to be. There has to be. There has to be a. There has to be a woman magician to have some prominence in the story, and she has to send you on a quest to find a USB.
Oh, that would be.
She has to send you on a quest to find a USB that has all the secrets to her magic tricks. Too.
Dude, that would be hilarious. Hire us for this writing.
Yeah,
we can do it.
And I don't know. Do you think Randy Pitchford is the kind of person to take his own like piss out of that? You know.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's pretty self-aware about being a magician.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, he doesn't look at every quest line, does he?
No, I'm sure if you hit it well enough, you did sneak it by if you were a developer, you know?
You just have like the Konami code or something.
Yeah.
In like the manual. Yeah. Open this to do this quest.
No, you wouldn't want to make it that elaborate because then like, people
he would have to get involved in that.
There would be a lot more publicity around that. It's like, can you imagine?
I wonder how much he does work on this.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder how much like game development CEOs play their own product.
Yeah, he can't be super. I mean, he's obviously involved because it's like his baby,
right?
From years ago.
You'd think it'd be like a chef. You taste your own food in a sense.
I'm sure he's
maybe, but it's like so much of what like a CEO does for a company isn't exactly like in a production standpoint. It's like
yeah. He's not in the trenches anymore, for sure.
There's no way he can play the entire game in every aspect before it comes out.
Yeah.
There are going to be some parts where he has to skip. Hopefully that's one of them. So we get what we want.
Yeah.
I just think that'd be really funny. I think that'd be
it would be good.
Yeah. All right. So, I think that's Borderlands 3. I saw some articles published earlier this morning where it's like some people claim they figured out when it's going to be released based on some hints in the trailer, which the mental gymnastics used to connect these hints is pretty hard. But some people are convinced it's going to be October 1st, 2019. So,
well, it's like that. It's like the Halo Infinite trailer. They found out where that's going to be set in a sense.
Yeah.
Just by a blinking beeping in the background. Yeah. But even hearable.
Did they like translate it to Morse or something?
Yeah.
Don't underestimate some people.
I know.
So
you do your thing. Go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah.
They were going over like that trailer. Like he was like talking about like, oh, there's a bunch of hidden stuff in the trailer. See that beeping? That's Morse code. I think he was not being.
Sure it is.
You think he was being serious? Like it's. I don't even know anymore. Okay. He was like, that's Morse code for drink your Ovaltine or something weird like that. I was like, okay.
Gearbox would be the people to put that in the trailer, though. You know,
They would be,
least.
and like that's like a funny joke. So hopefully they can like that kind of stuff.
Hopefully it's like 10 layers deep, and like the final one leads a link to a website where it says "lol JK."
Right, exactly. And so, you know, it's just like it's that sort of thing where it's like they're certainly capable of the humor of like making a quest line to find the USB stick, but whether or not they'll do it because they don't want to offend their CEO is another thing, you know. So
I mean that all depends on their
to be brutally honest, I think he kind of deserves it. Like, I think somebody's got to do it. Like, just the kind of.
I think it'd be better for PR in general to
it
do
would.
it. You know,
Do
Yeah.
it, blame it on the intern, fire him, and call it a day.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Just go and fire 500 people. You'll be right.
Yeah, you want to be like what was it? EA?
Activision.
Yeah,
Activision,
yeah.
and then by a lesser extent EA.
EA did something recently. I think.
350, yeah.
Yeah, they did 350 the other week or earlier this week. I think. Oh yeah, I
It
think
was
Matt
this
found the
week,
USB.
Oh, would you look at that?
You don't open the contents. I mean,
Let's plug it in, and I immediately disconnect.
Yeah.
God. All right. So, Andrew, Sony had their
Yes.
own not Nintendo Direct Nintendo Direct thing. And,
yeah,
and
I
it
feel
sucked.
bad for them. It was okay. It
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
suck.
Okay, I didn't actually watch it. I just heard the reception was horrible.
Yeah.
It was
Neither did I.
fine.
Okay. So what is this?
Yeah, so like you said, it was Nintendo Direct was actually trending during this thing
Oh no.
on Twitter because people were like, "This Sony's doing a Nintendo Direct, but it's called State of Play," and then Nintendo Direct was therefore trending. So that's gotta feel bad for them.
Whoops.
Yeah,
Maybe you shouldn't copy the format, but okay.
I mean, it was so there was definitely takeaways that were good about it. It was
Okay.
20 minutes long. You know, it was like
Decent
straight
length.
to the point.
Okay.
Yeah, so like this is their first time doing it. You got to give them some slack. They're trying
Yeah.
to figure it out. You know, like if they do something like this for E3, which it seems like that's probably going to be the case.
Please don't.
I have an objection.
Well, I
to
mean,
see.
And you know, like it's like how Nintendo does it. They're not at E3, but they're
I
going
know.
to do something around the event, and this is probably like a test bed for like what they're going to do.
Really quick,
and
I
I
always
think
think it was
having
kind of strange that
conferences.
Nintendo did the whole like digital only event at E3 because like
Mm-hmm.
they often ship a lot of the people who would do an E3 presentation over to the conference anyway just to do stuff.
They gotta-
So it's like, you know,
they gotta do
Reggie is
business
always in
deal.
attendance, you know, Shigeru Miyamoto is usually
Yeah.
there, etc. Anyway,
And
sorry,
I
keep
think
going.
I think it's fine in some
Yeah.
ways because it allowed Nintendo to do weird stuff like the puppets.
Yes.
Yeah,
Miyamoto or not Miyamoto. Reggie and Iwata fighting.
yeah.
Like they were allowed to do stuff like that. It's like I can't blame them. They're
Yeah.
being creative.
Yeah,
with
no,
it.
don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. It's
totally.
like I think it's fine. I have no problem with it. I'm just saying it's just like all the guys needed for a presentation are there anyway, you know. But okay,
Yeah.
sorry, Andrew, keep going.
No. Yeah. So I think people might have overhyped it, thinking like, oh, PlayStation is gonna, they got their expectations maybe a little too high for what it was,
Okay.
or, it's hard to say. It's their first time doing one of these things, and they did some cool stuff. They did it was really VR focused. It had so much VR.
Okay.
So if you don't have a VR, you're not into the VR that they have, then I could totally see people being disappointed with it. But they let me look over. So VR stuff, they talked about like Five Nights at Freddy's, like they cover their bases with some of this VR stuff.
Okay.
Iron Man, whatever that was called.
Yeah, there's like an officially licensed Iron Man game coming to it.
Damn.
Which, funnily, I'll just add on to this. Funnily enough, with any Marvel game that is being done by any game developer, actually ties into its own universe. So Marvel now has a Marvel Gameverse,
Oh, sure.
which has comics and everything relating to them and all that.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have this like standalone Iron Man thing, which is cool. They announced everybody's golf VR, which I am super
That
on
seems
board.
like a
Yes.
fun idea. Golf club
Okay.
taken to VR.
I
Can we play Uno and Monopoly in VR?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure
no.
that exists. They have like this weird card game, so they did a lot of VR stuff, which was
I want to be able to flip
interesting.
the table and when we play Monopoly.
No Man's Sky is getting
I can't
VR.
do it. What's going on?
That could be cool. No Man's Sky in VR.
Yeah.
That would be all right, maybe.
Yeah.
I've heard that game's pretty alright nowadays.
Yeah, that game's come a long way.
No comment.
Okay.
So
I get like 10 FPS when I play it.
Have
so
you tried it on your
I
new
have
system though?
Problem.
Have you tried it?
it doesn't run great on PS4 either. I don't.
Okay.
So.
It runs just fine on my PC.
I mean, it probably runs fine, but probably like not. It could run better.
Okay.
Oh, it's just fine. It's 60 FPS, just fine.
What else? Oh, so they did like some stuff for. I saw people in our Discord talking about it, like, hey, like CTR Crash Team Racing did not look good in the trailer. I can't believe they showed it off. Like the grade looked bad graphically, and I don't know if people were aware of this, but they had like a PS1 filter on that version of it. Like that was what they were like going over. Like, hey, it's we're doing like a retro, like, you know, polygon-y looking, you know, models for this game too, if you want to like do it that way.
Yeah,
so
like what Halo did.
Although maybe
so like some people in our chat were being like, oh, it looks terrible. I can't believe they showed it off. And like I rewatched it. And I'm like, they understand that was like supposed to look like that. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't put Instagram filters on our games. I don't know.
It wasn't. No,
Should
it was
I take
like
my Instagram filter off.
It's
it was like a what is it? A retro. Like they're calling it like a retro thing for it. But basically, like,
Retrovision TM.
yeah, you know, like you can see the weird polygons on the wheels. The wheels are like squarish and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, just like silly stuff for that game.
Sounds like lower poly stuff to simulate the feel.
Yeah, because it's a PS1 game and all that stuff. So I thought it was personally funny when I saw it saying like, "Oh, it's terrible." I was like, I hope they realize it's a.
I thought
it's supposed to look terrible.
It's funny because there's another racing game called CTR as well, and I thought they were talking about that.
Oh, really?
I was like, what are they talking about? And then I just realized that it's Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, Crash.
So, yeah.
Observation is on PS4. That game looks interesting. Into that one. And then they did a Mortal Kombat trailer, which was actually really cool. I'm really in fighting games. They had a really cool combat trailer, and then they did a Days Gone thing as well. So, you know, I think it was overall, I think it was what they were going for was like, hey, let's take some of these games that might not get their own stage somewhere else. Let's give them their smaller stage, 20 minutes, get it out there. Now we don't have to talk about it. People who want to know about it are going to know about it. Yeah. People who don't care are going to just not care.
You know, I think that's like a really reasonable point also, where it's like a reasonable approach that Sony took. Because like, you know, I've seen a lot of the blowback come from, it's like, you know, it's like we didn't hear about any like huge games. We never heard about, it's like in this thing. We didn't get anything related to Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2. I'm forgetting one other big game that Sony has down the pipe. Okay, but anyway, and so it was just like, I think that's a really good point there. It was just like, those games are so huge that they can command their own stage. This little event is kind of necessary to give time to all the little smaller stuff. I'm sure Sony still wants.
It's like a Nindies event in a sense.
And that's probably the blowback from people comparing it to a Direct.
Yeah,
right.
Too.
Well, like Nintendo does their directs. They do like the two different types. They do the ones where they're going to announce it like the day before or whatever that are smaller.
Yeah.
And then they do the huge ones where they're like, hey, we're going to focus on this one game. And
yeah,
whatever.
That's probably what most people think about is like that type of direct is the big ones. And it's like, I mean, not the best decision.
Yeah, and it's like with
if they're doing this like state of play every like, I don't know, let's just say every month or every other month they do this, and it's like just highlighting smaller games. It's totally like a cool thing. And then they have their own, hey, we're going to announce something big at this.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're setting a precedent that they could take in different directions. So I'm actually interested to see what else they do with this.
Well, when Nintendo does a direct, anyway. So this was the thing that I was watching. I think I was watching the gaming show. When Nintendo do their direct, they have the bit where they talk about games, and then they have like the slideshow panel bit where it kind of zooms out, goes to the next one, zooms in, and has like 3 minutes of game. That's what Sony had with this. And there's nothing really wrong with that, in my opinion. Also, another issue that they had was they said that this was going to be live streamed, as far as implying that it was all going to be kind of live done on the time. Yet this was kind of pre-recorded. So a lot of people had issues with them saying, oh, you know, it's not live streamed and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's kind of semantics because, like,
I mean,
technically, like, Nintendo Direct is live streamed, but it's not live. you know?
Yeah.
There's a difference. Okay,
Totally.
Anyway.
I think Sony was kind of making out, we're going to kind of be there in a sense, and kind of present it all live in a sense, but they did it. They kind of copped out and did it this. People feel like they kind of copped out and did it this way in a sense.
It's I don't know, trying to give Sony a break, you know? It's like, come on, guys, it's okay.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
They were trying new stuff. It's obviously corporations, like whatever. Not trying to give corporations a break, but there's people behind the corporations that are trying to do new things, right? And sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't, and I think this was very just even. But nonetheless, interesting to see what could be done with the format.
Yeah, I think on the other hand too, it's like all the feedback Sony is getting is pretty good, because now it's like, they can only really go up from here, right? They know what we're expecting with this, etc. So all right, so was there absolutely anything in there that you're super excited about, or no?
Like I said, probably the most the unknown thing that I'm excited for was the Everybody's Golf VR. I love Everybody's Golf. I love that game so much.
Okay.
Anthony's right there with you.
Yeah,
I loves that game.
I need VR.
Do you really like Everybody's Golf a lot?
I mean, I love golf games. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the VR golf would be even better.
I see him playing golf games all the time on Discord.
Oh, really?
Have
you tried Everybody's Golf? Oh, you don't have PS4?
No.
Sorry.
I have tried some on Vita and whatnot, but no.
I like the Vita version of Hot Shot.
PlayStation Vita.
Hey man, mine did a good job.
They're still releasing games for it, so
I think it was super.
Yeah, they just did last.
I don't know. I'm still the mindset. I think it was super ahead of its time. Like honestly,
I mean, it's basically a mini Switch almost, but not quite.
Kind of
the idea there.
And the whole like cross-play thing where you could play your games on a PS4 and then on your Vita and all that. I reckon that was very well done. And if you had like a Sony Xperia phone, you could play PS4 games on your phone as well, which was awesome.
You can do that now too, for sure. You can.
That would require you buying a Sony Xperia phone.
I had one at the time.
They haven't refreshed. I know they're planning a refresh on the line pretty soon, but they haven't refreshed it in years.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because they were actually really decent for a while.
Good phones. Yeah.
Like they were really good for a while, but
like waterproof and everything, which was good.
But then Samsung started making a ton of money and then kind of dominated. But Xperia is still big in Japan, which
I'm sure,
which made sense. But yeah, it's like a lot of people still use Xperia phones. If you see an anime, you know it's somewhat funded by Sony because the people are using Xperia phones, and it's very obvious. They have a very distinct rectangular shape to them.
They have a shot as well where you could clearly read Sony.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember in House of Cards, like the original seasons? I don't know if you watch it, but like the main character would be playing like PlayStation 4, or like he was playing his Vita one time. Like
I remember that
thing, and it was just like this really offhand. Like clearly they wanted to like get their product in there somehow, and like he plays video games all the time, but like 2 shots of him just playing a Vita. So
there's this one Chinese anime, which I know it's not technically anime at that point because it's Chinese, but you kind of get the point. That I really like. They were heavily
Chanime.
Yeah, Chanime. They were heavily like funded by McDonald's, so it's like every time you see a character eat, they're eating McDonald's.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
pretty.
Sounds
true though. It's probably like real life.
What's the go with DC like TV show? Big Belly Burger. I don't get it. It doesn't exist.
I think that's fake. Yeah, that's
fake. But every time they're eating that
it's a joke.
thing,
it's a joke.
But I mean, like, it's dumb.
Andrew, have you watched the new...
I don't find it funny, no.
Andrew, have you watched, or Matt, have you watched any of the new Hawaii 5-0?
The like new, but you mean like it came out like in 2012?
Yeah, like the new.
Yeah, some of it. Why?
I feel like my parents used to watch it, so I would like when I would go home, I would see like those guys.
Oh, okay. There's this really like obvious Subway advertisement scene in the show, and it's really.
I know which one you're talking about. I actually know that one.
Okay. All right.
I'll have to pick it up. Check it out. I love a good bad advertisement.
Like, Subway sounds nice now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't think I had last time I had Subway was ended in disaster.
Okay.
Oh man. Yeah.
Well, you got food poisoning?
I I ate like Subway. I was like a broke college student, you know,
Okay.
and like Subway is like always available. So like, boom, Subway, perfect. Hey, rugby practice in like 2 hours, in like an hour, no big deal. Tons of running, and I'm just throwing up Subway. And that was the last time I ate Subway.
It's like never again.
I hate
Just
Subway.
like on the corner of like on the field, like, excuse me guys, 1 second, let me go pick up all this Subway.
All right.
I really don't like Subway, to be honest.
All right, so that's the
But
state
also-
of play. And the state of play says there's lots
State
of VR.
Yeah, tons of VR. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see. I mean, we talked a little bit about VR earlier, and they're pushing it still. So, I mean,
Yeah. I would
definitely
almost offer
watch.
that like the PSVR is a much better experience, especially in like better like proposition than like the Vive is.
I think
nowadays.
currently, yeah, it's
Just
got a good
because,
price.
Price-wise, yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
good
price
price,
wise,
good
and then-
games too.
Yeah, and it's like it does. It's like the games are gimmicks, but they're little mini games. But it's like for that price, it's like you kind of expect them to be and whatnot, and it does what it needs to do. You know, that's
We
the
got
thing.
like
It's
Beat
it's
Saber
just-
on there. You got Astrobot, Moss.
Oh yeah, I've played Astrobot a little bit.
Lots of cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, I was gonna say they announced they sold like 4.2 million were sold,
Wow.
which is a lot. It sounds like
I'd say that's a lot.
4.2 million PSVR headsets sold. So seems like a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess they want to keep pushing that and get that number up.
That's actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Alright.
know. I don't know what the other numbers are, but sounds good to me.
All right, let's talk about another Japanese company, kinda. Nintendo, kinda, by extension, Zelda. So, new Zelda game in the pipeline, but not from Nintendo. Anthony, what's going on here?
So, the guys behind Xenoblade Chronicles, which I've completely forgotten their name.
Monolith?
Monolith, that's right, Monolith. So they actually developed Skyward Sword, partially developed Skyward Sword, and also developed Breath of the Wild as well.
Partially also.
Yep. Nintendo has actually contracted out, in a sense, a new AAA that's rumored to be like a AAA kind of Zelda title. So not something that's 2D, not something that's kind of, you know, what the Arcadia of whatever it is.
Okay.
What's the other one?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be like a Breath of the Wild kind of game. There are very few details on this, just that Monolith is actually recruiting at the moment. They're hiring for developers, artists, everything relating to a new game in development. And that's basically all we know. They don't know if when it's going to be released, it's how far into the development cycle they are, if anything. Obviously, we have the Link's Awakening Game Boy Classic remake that they're doing for Switch that's going to be coming out this year. And also the Cadence of Hyrule crossover between Zelda and Brace Yourself Games, which is also going to be coming this year. So this seems to be like 2 or 3 years off, in a sense.
Oh, I'd say more than that. If it's going to be a 3D Zelda, I'd say more.
Yeah. So do we think this is going to be like a Switch game in 2 or 3 years, or like next-gen Nintendo, or...
I'm definitely thinking Switch game. Although...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because
well.
like,
I don't see the Switch
Nintendo's
going
going to
too far away.
refresh the Switch this year, allegedly. That's another rumor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Davey Shearer in the chat. The last time this happened, we ended up with the CDI abominations. No, not quite.
You got a point.
No, not quite, actually. The last time Nintendo, like, completely delegated a third party to develop a Zelda game was Hyrule Warriors.
Which was
Yeah,
not
but that isn't like a mainline game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. Okay.
That's the point.
Okay, then yeah.
This was technically a mainline game at one point.
Okay, then yeah, we ended up with the CDI.
So Monolith handed over development when they were... so Nintendo handed over development when they were about 50% of the way through Breath of the Wild to Monolith. And Monolith finished it off and polished it and released it, basically. Nintendo only had part development done on the game. But Monolith worked very closely with Nintendo on Breath of the Wild. So it has been done before. Nothing really to be afraid of, in a sense.
Yeah.
Look at how Breath of the Wild ended up.
Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, it's like if
Yeah.
any company was to do this, it'd be Monolith, you know?
Yeah.
They have a clear vision of how Legend of Zelda should play, and they do a good job at executing that, in my opinion.
And they've worked on Xenoblade Chronicles as well, which was super good. The first one was at least. I think the second one was decent as well. So they know how to do an open world game. They know what they're doing.
Okay.
And they know how to craft a narrative.
Exactly, yeah.
They definitely know what they're doing, which is good. Which I think is good. I mean, Skyward Sword wasn't a bad game either. I think the only thing that really let that game down was the controls. But
yeah, massively.
Yeah, that's another story. But okay, so with this, do you? I almost wonder at this point if Nintendo has done the same thing like they did with Breath of the Wild to Monolith, in the sense of, you know, Nintendo's gotten a Zelda game up to this point before delegating, or if this is a completely from scratch sort of original product from Monolith.
Oh, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. All right.
It could be the type where they gave them a framework of, hey, we want to see this type of thing happen.
XYZ, yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
You know what this means? It means more Nintendo devs can work on Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, no.
Congratulations, we have one more person with more images in their closet. You know what that is? 100% boost in productivity.
Yes, that is. Okay.
Morale just shot through the roof.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for this, definitely. Any Zelda title really is exciting, in my opinion. So
yeah,
it's nothing really to be all freaky kind of thing, which is good. Yeah. So another Switch title, you reckon? I don't know. I reckon it might be next gen.
I don't think. If it's within 3 years, it'll definitely be another Switch title.
It won't be.
Because, like, I think at this point, Nintendo is just trying to keep iterationally improving the Switch. You know, I think this. What?
That's chat.
Read the comments.
Chat.
Oh.
Metroid Prime 4 cancelled again, so.
Oh, God. Hey, the
worked for
Metroid
Fortnite.
Prime 2 multiplayer was actually super good. So, I don't know. Make of that what you will.
It was pretty fun. Yeah.
Although I will say that it's like if you were to do a Metroid Battle Royale, it would probably play a lot like a Halo Reach Battle Royale would. So, again, make of that what you will. But okay. I don't know. To me, it's like I think Nintendo really likes the formula and like the overall structure they have going with the Switch. And so, if the rumors that we've heard that they're gonna give 2 new Switch refreshes this year, you know, to use the Switch, then I feel like it'll almost go the 3DS route in the sense of, you know, they're just gonna refresh it. And I mean, that worked for the 3DS also. There was a certain point, you know, it's like they were able to make all games work on the different models for a while. But then, you know, there was a certain point where they were like, yeah, you know, we kind of need minimum standards now up to this point. And I think that worked fine for Nintendo. So.
Yeah.
So, just to clarify as well, we don't know if Nintendo has actually started working on it, how far through development they are.
Yeah.
All we know is that Monolith is kind of coming on board to help out with it. So,
okay.
So the game might be 70% finished.
Okay.
And Monolith is kind of patching it up and finishing it off in a sense. So, but we don't know.
And I think if it holds with like past Zelda patterns too, especially if it's like a mainline 3D one, is like at the very least this will come at the end of the Switch's life cycle. Nintendo likes to squeeze in 2 over the course of a console life cycle, except for the Wii U. But then nobody loved the Wii U, so.
Yeah, nobody cared about the Wii U.
Yeah. You know, it's
I
just,
mean, it wasn't that bad.
well, just like, you know,
If I have one, it's bad.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, you know,
just-
the Wii launched with Twilight Princess, and then it ended with Skyward Sword, and then, yeah.
And the Wii U
I mean,
launched
technically-
with Skyward Sword, didn't it, or something?
Yeah,
You-
but
Wii U
Might have.
only had, the Wii U had
No, no.
Waker HD, and then had
Just-
Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah, true.
Breath of the
Hello
Wild.
Kitty Races, it's the best Wii
no,
U.
the Wii U got Skyward Sword, didn't it?
No,
I
it's
thought
a
it was
Wii. You can play it on there, but it's not. It's a Wii game.
Yeah, it was
It's
ported
not.
to the. It's like the whole Nintendo
It's like a
64 thing. that
virtual
Nintendo was
console
doing. Yeah.
style.
Backwards
But
compatibility.
they got Breath of the Wild. Yeah, you can play with backwards compatibility, but you can't. Like, it's not a proper Wii U game, like taking advantage of like the controls.
Gotcha. Okay.
What I was gonna say, if anything, it's exciting that Nintendo's like giving Zelda out like to different developers. Like they mentioned it like with the other one, the other game, the
Cadence of
Cryptid-
Hyrule or whatever.
Yeah, the Cadence of Hyrule. They're like not afraid apparently to, as long as they know what they're getting,
Yeah.
you know, lease out their biggest name, one of their biggest names.
Didn't they do that with Super Mario Odyssey as well? They ported it out or something.
No, that's an in-house.
Well,
I thought they got somebody else on to
Breath
help
of the
out
Wild
with it.
is also considered in-house, also. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just like,
but I mean,
Anthony's
by
more
like
asking
giving,
if Odyssey was like development was delegated to other studio, also. Like,
I wouldn't.
Mm.
But like, you know, like having a developer that's not just Nintendo working on a Zelda game is exciting.
Yeah,
And-
like this is full third-party development.
right.
Yeah.
So that's super cool that they're going to do that. I don't think they'll do it with Mario, but with
They'll never do that with Mario.
Yeah, but with other stuff, it's got potential to like, hey, maybe this smaller studio can pitch, you know, an F-Zero game or you know whatever.
that might be
know,
a
some
really good
kind of-
refresh for the series. Because, like, Miyamoto
Yeah.
has said in interviews that the only reason why they haven't made an F-Zero game ever since then has been because they haven't thought of a really good idea for one. So
What if it's like a rhythm racing game? That's like, you know, who knows? Like,
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Run away. Yeah.
Imagine, like, F-Zero going the way of, like, Need for Speed or something. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Actually, I don't know if you guys have played F-Zero in the original in a while. Damn, those got some good music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah.
Listen to that, yeah. That one's really good.
Yeah. Okay. So, do we want to talk about Apple Arcade, or do we want to irresponsibly speculate about the Switch refresh coming this year, allegedly?
Ooh.
Up to you, whatever you reckon.
We could probably spend a little time on both.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Screw it.
That.
Yeah. All right. So while we're still on the subject of Nintendo, then yeah, we got from a decently credible source, I think over the course of the last week and a half or so, that Nintendo is planning 2 different SKUs of the Switch as refreshes this year, coming around summer. We're almost to summer, so yeah. What do we think this could be? Like, justifiably, what do you think we would see?
I mean, from what I understand, they're supposed to be like the one that's like geared to hardcore gamers, like the more advanced one, and then there's one that is the opposite. It's on a lower spectrum. That's like maybe it's just a portable system,
Okay.
or
So it's like this to be going like the way of like 3DS and 2DS.
yeah, that's a better way to put it. Like
Okay.
the 2DS version,
Yeah.
like
I
a less
couldn't see
breakable, kid-friendly Switch.
Okay.
Like with Joy-Cons attached that can't come off. I mean, we could probably see that with what's it called? A base, a stand, whatever it is. But just with you've got to kind of buy a separate controller rather than disconnecting Joy-Cons kind of thing.
Yes, that's where you run into problems, right?
Okay.
Is playing on the go gets weird because you can't just take Joy-Cons off and have 2 controllers.
But who does that? I mean,
I have done it before. It doesn't work great. I mean, it
I've
works
done it
great. I
before.
mean, the controllers suck, like you know, by itself. But I've done it,
Okay.
and you can get by if you don't care. Like
Yeah.
I've done Mario Kart with the single Joy-Con, and it's fine. Not the
It's-
way to play, but
John Taylor and I have done that where we, had 2 Switches, but we all played Smash off
Sure.
off
Yeah.
a couple Switches with all the little Joy-Cons.
Yeah, when it went
Smash
to
is really hard to play with a little
Smash
Joy-Con.
seems harder. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's
that was like
it's
the only
possible.
multiplayer game we had, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like yeah, that's how we
Yeah.
passed the time waiting to board our flight to Vegas for CES.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then my net got sore eventually. But
And then someone in
We had
chat
to play hunched over and everything.
he brings up
Yeah,
that he plays portable mode 99% of the time. I do
Same.
too. That's how I play.
Yeah.
I could see that's how it working a lot
Then
in
it got
Japan as
delayed.
well.
Yep.
So I don't know. Portable only could be good, but then at the same time, you're going to run into problems with games that like require, like some kind of plugging in, like or like Mario Maker. You look at that game, like how is that going to work all the time? I don't know.
Would that?
I think you
I don't
could.
know. I think that would-
I think you could still see like a portable only with like a home base as well, but just with kind of Joy-Cons that don't disconnect in a sense. So I think you're cutting down like $50 or $60 off the price.
Yeah, I was going to
Sure.
say, do you remember it's like way back when? It's like we speculated and talked about a rumor like dockless Switch being sold for $200. I feel like this is
Right.
going to be, or it's like I think, based on, I think it's reasonable to assume that it's like, as I said earlier, kind of like the 2DS. So it's like the 2DS model of the Switch. It's going to be, and there's a really good opportunity for value here, also, right?
Mhm.
It's probably
Sure.
going to have some iterational hardware improvements and everything, only enough to make, because like if you dock it, obviously it needs to drive things at like 1080p 60 now, as opposed to if it's in handheld where it's just like 720p. So it's like it's gonna be enough to drive that and a little bit more for portable. So they can largely keep it at the same price point of 300, but if it's gonna be targeted towards more kids, they might bring it down to like 250 or so, and they'll probably largely keep like the plastic design that they have, so the plastic strain, plastic Joy-Cons, and everything. And then it's like, especially with it's like selling it without a dock, then it's like they're given the opportunity to knock like a solid $80 off the price.
And to say those are expensive.
Yeah. Well,
for some reason.
Okay. I think Nintendo, maybe $80 off the price is kind of unreasonable, because Nintendo upcharges though, because all that is a USB or is just a pass through, a display pass through. Which,
I mean, that's how much they sell it for.
I know. I'm just saying, it's like I think Nintendo marks that up what it actually costs them, because it's like a few powered USB ports and
plastic
and a pass through, and then it's just a plastic shell.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, so it's
that
like
scratches your.
Yeah.
Well, it scratches your screen. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm still waiting.
And then it's like, then they have the opportunity to like sell this for $250, gear it towards like casual or like kids or something, And then it's like you can get this more premium model. I wouldn't be surprised. I think it'd be reasonable to charge like $400 for this or something. You get like a nicer glass screen that's like 1080p from the get go, maybe a little bit larger, et cetera, et cetera. Sure. Maybe a little bit more beefier hardware, et cetera, to drive it.
Yeah.
So
the more powerful one is less interesting, just because like. Whatever, it's just gonna be bigger or brighter and
bigger, better,
maybe more battery. Yeah. So it's the other one that's a little more interesting.
Everything Switch related is, at least over here, extremely overpriced. Games, everything is just overpriced. Overpriced to hell. It's just absolutely ridiculous how much you're paying for like an indie game. $40. Seriously? Like I'm really salty on that, to be honest.
That was a conversation in the staff Discord the other day.
It's a joke. I reckon it's an absolute joke. You're getting a third-party game that's being ported across Switch, $40. You can get it on any other console for like $10-$20.
Pay $40 for a Cuphead again.
4K streaming for the powerful
you're the problem.
4K
that was kind of
streaming for the powerful one. Probably not.
I still want a feature where it's like a powerful dock where you plug it in and it now renders at 4K. It has the hardware in it to make it do that.
Yeah,
I would love just a standalone dock that does that.
I don't think that's.
It's like one of the biggest like criticisms I had of the Switch when it came out was like, it's just a display pass-through. The dock is. It's just like there's no video upscaler to it.
Right.
Yeah. And then remember when Nintendo sold new 3DSs with no charging cable? I don't think Nintendo will make that mistake again.
I think that's common in Japan, though, is that they don't.
But at least in North America, they won't make it. Yeah. Unless they were just to do it, I think it'd be reasonable if it charged off USB-C again, because it's like now everyone's phone charges off USB-C, or like unless you're an iPhone user. But it was just like most people have something that charges off USB-C at least.
Yeah, I think
so at this point. So
yeah,
interesting. We'll see.
Well, I would like them to incorporate a dock that allows them to render at higher resolutions. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah, there's a few different places Nintendo can go with this. There's definitely like a value option to be had also, which I think would go over really well, and there's definitely a high-end option. Also, I don't know. I wouldn't mind refreshing my Switch, to be honest. So I wouldn't mind refreshing it.
I'm pretty happy with mine.
I'm happy with mine. They would really have to convince me to get a different one.
Yeah. Okay.
The games I'm playing on there aren't like graphically intense most of the time. I'm playing a lot of indie games.
Okay.
So like
exactly.
As long as they run well, which they should.
Yeah.
I have no problem.
I don't know, man.
And the screen and the resolution is just fine for its size. I'm perfectly happy with how large this Switch is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little crampy for me. The Joy-Cons are just kind of like a little crampy.
Yeah.
So maybe if they do a bigger one, it's a little more comfortable to play with. But
yeah. All right. So
you don't play Nintendo games for the graphics, but they look good. I mean, Breath of the Wild.
They make it look good.
Yeah, exactly. They know how to make the style look good. That's the thing. It's like they know how to.
They look fantastic, but like, I'm not talking about like the graphics in general. I'm just talking about like what I play on that console is not. Yeah.
Graphically intense.
Yeah, it's not graphically intense.
I didn't buy it's like I didn't buy a Switch to play like Doom or anything. I bought a Switch to play Breath of the Wild.
But you own Doom on it anyways.
just to try it out. I just wanted to try it out. But yeah.
I played at an event way back, and I was like, "Oh boy, this is."
It's bad.
It ran fine, but it just the this controller that I was playing.
Yeah.
Fair enough,
Yeah. All right. So yeah, once again though, that is only a rumor, although it's from a very credible source. To be honest, I think it was
Wall Street Journal that had one.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they were saying that there was like a thing on the called the stock market or something that Nintendo was like put something up somewhere, and it was basically like guaranteed that they were going to be releasing it, but it hadn't actually been announced yet.
Okay. It should have been from
But
like
it
an
was like
investors
an actual-
earning thing or something. Could have been from
Yeah,
like,
I think
Rochdale.
something like that.
Okay. All right. And then Anthony, what the hell is Apple Arcade?
Don't ask.
Anthony, what is Apple Arcade?
Yeah. I'm so keen.
Apple Arcade.
I'm so keen to talk about this. So Apple is apparently doing their own streaming, like every other man and his dog. It's going to be very similar to the Xbox Game Pass. However, it's like all online. Any Apple device can connect to it, tablet, computer, phone, but it doesn't offer cloud saving, which is not too sure how that's going to work. It doesn't access cloud at all.
Outstanding.
It's just basically, so there's 2 articles here because there's quite a bit of information on it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it is supposed to be releasing. Where's the release date? It doesn't say. Hooray!
All right.
This year sometime to 150 countries. Sometime this. There you go.
Will Apple Arcade flop like Air Power?
Oh man.
So,
They just canceled.
it's a subscription service, unlike Google Stadia, apparently, designed for mobile, desktop, and the living room. It takes a month, provides unlimited access to a curated selection of paid games on the App Store. It's not totally unlike Game Pass, although Arcade does offer games with full access to all updates and DLC. It will support games across iOS devices, both iPhone and iPads, Mac OS and Apple TV, and you will also be able to transfer your progress between different platforms. Essentially, you can move from playing something on your phone to your TV or laptop, for instance. Games, I'll just read out a list. I've got a couple that have been announced. Currently development partners Sega, Konami, Disney, Sumo Digital, Cartoon Network, all signed on to contribute games to the service. There's confirmed to be more than 100 exclusive games at launch, with more promised to be added. Below you can find a list of blah blah blah. So, Atoned, Heart of the Elder Tree, Beyond the Steel Sky, Doomsday Vault, Down in Bermuda, Enter the Construct, Frogger in Toy Town, Hitchhiker, that's a very weird way of spelling it, Hot Lava, Kings of the Castle, Lego Bros, Lego Art House, Lifelike, Monomal, Mr. Turtle, blah blah blah, games that you've never heard of.
I was about to say, I've never heard of single one of these games.
I don't think there's any here that I've ever.
Rip.
Apple Arcade isn't a cloud-based streaming service, which means you can download and play games offline. This stands in direct contrast to Google's cloud-based Stadia game streaming platform, which the company said can't run offline. So, what do we think?
Google BTFO. But okay. Really quick on the AirPower dig. I'm actually kind of happy that they canceled it, because I still think Apple wants to enter the wireless charging market themselves, also like have their own device. So if anything, I think they're going to reinvent the standard for it, which will be nice, because Qi right now is very, very, let's just put it blunt, like it's very, very like throw your head against a wall until it breaks, and how it works. So that's the current wireless charging standard.
It's kind of stalled.
Yeah.
To say.
So it's like, I don't know, I am kind of glad that, because to me it seems like Apple will invent a new thing for it. But anyway.
This seems to be kind of like mobile games only, like a mobile game only service, which is a bit weird. Because none of these games, like, I've never heard of any of these games, and they seem to be like iOS exclusives in a sense.
Yeah.
Especially with it being something like that you're able to download and play wherever. They're not going to be big games at all. They're just arcade games, as in the name.
Well, I don't know. Like it seems like they're trying to get the market figured out, because like people don't play games on their phone unless they're free, right? Like rarely people buy.
On the game.
Well, yeah, but most people who play games on their phone don't buy games, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like $1.99. People are going to look like, why would I buy that?
They don't. The thing is, it's like they don't play games that they have to pay for. They pay for free games.
Exactly. It's weird. Like it's just.
Yeah.
Like look when Super Mario Run came out, they had to do the free version of it because people aren't going to pay $10 for this game. Like,
right.
It's not happening.
People have to try it first. Also, is anybody getting a really weird Discord glitch where like
I'm just getting
emblems are going weird?
No,
not quite.
Things are right on my end.
No, audio's been cutting in and out for me, but that's about it.
Audio. But yeah, I don't know. If they can get games on here and get a spotlight on games that people wouldn't normally play, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, it's just going to cost $10 a month. Then I'd rather just buy the occasional game.
You know, it's like in the same event. Also, Nintendo was doing their own like TV and movie streaming service also that costs money, and it's just like we've almost reached the point now with all the different services you can pay for. That it's like that's about a cable bill at this point. If you were to sign up for every one of them, you know that's about a cable bill with all these shows included. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's like now Spotify is bundling like with Hulu, so you gotta look for like what the bundles are and stuff like that nowadays. So
yeah,
I don't know.
This seems like I don't know. I mean, Microsoft's doing their own one, Sony's doing their own one, Amazon's doing theirs, Google's doing theirs. So maybe this, maybe this is like a good platform for like mobile and smaller games, because everybody else is doing like big AAA stuff.
Yeah. I mean that's definitely what it's for. But like I said, I don't know if it's the way I always play mobile games. If I buy them, is like someone told me like this is a really good mobile game, or like some website is like, check this mobile game out, it's awesome.
Okay,
it's $3, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll buy it for $3. You guys say it's cool. I'm not going to pay $10 a month to just try a bunch of like random stuff or like what the developers, the people who are taking the content and like funneling it in there. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Who are filtering the content. Why am I to say like, who are they to say this game is good? Are they a certain game didn't pay their way up to the top?
Yeah.
Page, stuff like that.
Questions about the curation.
Yeah, curation. Thank you.
I just straight up don't play games on my phone, nor do I have an iPhone.
Same.
So this is like entirely useless to me.
See, the only reason that I would like start gaming on my phone is because Stadia looked that fascinating to me.
That's different. I feel like that's a different.
It's a different animal completely.
Yeah.
But it's like that's something where you go, all right, you have my attention.
I'll
probably throw something at it to test it.
Yeah, like I have a couple games on my phone, but they're mostly just like tap this thing to make it explode, or solitaire style games.
Oh, actually, wait, I lied. There's actually one game I play on my phone, and that's the Love Live game.
Is it do you actually play that game, Taylor?
I do, yeah. I saw Felicia playing it one day, and it looked fun, and I was like, I'm gonna download it. Okay, anyway.
What's interesting is who's going to be like developing games for Sega Connect.
You have completely cut out, sir.
Yeah, you're cutting it out.
Start from the top with what's interesting to me.
Can you hear me actually? Or?
Yes. So start from the top.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What is interesting to me? Who's developing for this platform? Like Sega, Konami, Disney, those kind of people. Like, what are they even going to put on it?
Well, I think they already have stuff on the store, right? Don't they already have stuff on the store? So they probably are just taking their paid content and putting it.
All right.
Right? That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it's gonna be like if it's like I don't know, I'm sure there are people that are like super into like mobile games though. Just like I don't know.
Oh sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. So it's like for them it's like to instead of having to say they consume what is this, like $9.99 a month, right? Say they consume more than 10 99-cent games per month. This is perfect for them, Or it's like say they
It's very to me.
That's a lot.
I know. It's like it's very niche, but at the same time, like it's kind of like Apple. Apple seems to have designated the subscription model as being like something that's super money making because like they pretty much killed off iTunes in favor of Apple Music, which is a subscription,
Right.
And that's because they got pressured from Spotify.
And that wasn't really great for the industry though, like right?
No,
the way these developers are going to.
I wouldn't say so.
No, but it makes Apple money hand over fist, which is kind of what they.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Which more?
But like if the developers,
Spotify a lot of money.
developers getting paid per download, and their game isn't getting downloaded on the service, then it sucks, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, it's just like Apple. This seems to be Apple's favorite business model right now.
Right. Yeah. I think that'll be. We'll see if it makes a splash even.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to voice my thoughts on Apple, but
moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So CD Projekt Red of The Witcher fame and Gwent. Is that game any good? Does anyone play Gwent?
I like the inversion game.
Okay, not so much the standalone. Okay.
I didn't really play the standalone one. It's so hard getting into like card games.
I'll talk correctly.
I was getting there.
Okay. So anyway, you didn't really like the standalone?
I didn't put much time into it.
Okay.
I don't know why. I looked at it and like it gives you all the rules and it gets a little more intense than like the inversion game.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, I like the simplicity of just the in-house game.
Okay.
Rather than getting way too into it as new card game.
Okay, fair enough. All right. But anyway, CD Projekt Red of The Witcher fame says Cyberpunk, which is their long hype and long-awaited new sci-fi RPG, and a new unannounced RPG are coming by 2021. So not only is there Cyberpunk, which looks really good so far, but there's also a new unannounced RPG also coming out 2021 within the next 3 years.
That's kind of massive, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty huge considering like the scope of most CD Projekt games.
Yeah. Especially how large or like the size of CD Projekt Red, to be more exact.
Yeah. So okay, with Cyberpunk, I for some reason seem to be under the impression that it was coming later this year. But I guess that's not the case.
I think it's next gen, right? That's probably what's gonna happen.
I don't think so.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know. No one knows. They announced that game way too early, and it's been just a lot of confusion.
Yeah, announced in 2013, by the way.
Wait, what?
Announced in 2013, by the way.
June 2019 is the release date for Cyberpunk.
That's strange because they were going to show it off at E3. But okay.
Fair enough that it's by 2021 technically, so they fall.
Yeah, I mean,
sure. I know. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. But it's like the article I read about this made it sound like Cyberpunk had an unconfirmed release schedule, but I always was under the impression that it was being out this year. So I don't know.
I don't think it's confirmed.
Okay.
Officially, there's no date. There's no date on.
Okay, but yeah, we know at the very least Cyberpunk will be shown off heavily at E3 this year. So
most
likely.
Right. Well, they better.
Yeah, they better.
Man, not that they better, but they should.
Yeah, I don't know. This is almost. I don't want to say standard for CD Projekt to have two big games in the works at the same time, but it's just like it wouldn't be entirely unprecedented because like. So Cyberpunk was first like teased in 2013. I mean, they reached the point of teasing for it in 2013, and then it's like in the space between, it's like they were also working on Witcher 3 heavily during that time. So
yeah.
6 years.
Yeah,
been a while.
Yes, it has. It has. Don't even.
I mean, the only way I can see them kind of doing this is they kind of outsource development in a way.
Okay.
I don't see them doing 3 games in the space of 3 years with how big they are.
What's the third game?
Well, are they doing 2 other games aside from CD Projekt?
What? No, there's only 2. What?
I thought you said there were 2 games aside from CD Projekt. No.
Cyberpunk and another.
Yeah, that's 2.
I don't know why I'm saying CD Projekt Red. Cyberpunk is what I mean. Okay, so they're doing another one aside from.
Yes. Which, I mean, wouldn't be surprising depending on how efficient the company is from going from, say, development to writing this script to actually coding the game.
Yeah.
Because if, writing the script's all done, cool, now they hand it over and they can begin something new while the B team works on, getting that part of the game done.
Yeah. Or the alternative.
It could be using
They could just have a really efficient system like that, which would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of a supply chain in a sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah.
Or it could be a smaller project too. Who knows? Like they're not.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red racing game.
Oh god.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, we can only really speculate what the new RPG is, but with Cyberpunk, are you guys excited for that at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I haven't watched a lot of it, but
it's
got a cool aesthetic. As long as I don't know.
I mean, the hype's kind of dying down, but
I think
I'm sure the hype will return after E3 for it.
I think they need to get that game out.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like kind of showed it off too early.
Yeah.
In a sense.
The longer it goes, the less caring I am about that game.
Okay.
Initially, when I saw it, I was excited for it, but now I probably won't be getting it. I don't reckon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a pretty big fan of Deus Ex. Whenever I see a lot of that, so.
A little, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, awesome. So, we don't have any insane discussion questions. So, Anthony, what games are being released this next week?
Not many, actually, because it's kind of the turn of a new month.
I'm gonna interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Oh.
He heard
No
me.
comment.
Okay.
So we have Darksiders.
You cut out again, sir. Darksiders what?
I don't need to interrupt you. You're
What
doing it
the heck
yourself.
is going on? Darksiders,
We're
War
even
Mastered
connected to
Edition.
Sydney.
Am I still hearable?
Yes.
Yes, for
Yes.
On Switch for April 2nd. Cryo Fall is kind of Steam Early Access on April 3rd as well. Borderlands Game of the Year Edition is going to PC, PS4, and Xbox One, also on April 3rd.
That's a free upgrade if you own Borderlands 1 on PC already, by the way.
Cool.
If you buy it now, do you get the free
I
upgrade?
don't know.
I'm very
I
tempted
already
to buy it,
own it.
actually.
Okay, but anyway.
Bow to Blood, Last Captain Standing is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on
Man
April
Awakens in the
3rd.
chat says no.
Okay, cool.
Big
Hyper Parasite, Steam Early Access, April 3rd. Deathmark is going to PC on April 4th. Islanders is going to PC on April 4th. Mechtermination Force is going to Switch on April as well.
That sounds badass.
That sounds silly, yeah.
Scorcery, I think it is going to PS4 on April. Overwhelm is going to Switch on April 4th. Mars Rising, full release, is going to PC on April 4th. Not My Car, Steam Early Access, is going on April 5th. Dance of Death is coming on April 5th as well for PC. Monster Slayers is going to Switch on April 5th. And Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission is going to PC and Switch on April 5th. And that's
a
it
hell of
for
a
this
name.
one. Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. Great name.
I think it's like a card game or something, isn't it?
Not
Of course.
too sure, to be honest.
I have no idea.
With a name like that, it probably is.
Okay,
Anime.
is that it?
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
I
okay.
said that was it.
Moving
Okay.
on.
All right, so I think that about wraps it up. So, Andrew, where can people find you on like Twitter or something, or
Yes,
whatever the
you
new
can find
social
me-
media is nowadays?
Well, I don't know what the kids use.
They use MySpace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, MySpace. Fantastic. Can't find me there. But you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Duronsky, DURNSKI. Fun stuff there. Video games, beer, all that fun stuff. So check me out there. Hit me up. I'll answer questions. And
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Matt, how about yourself?
You can find me over at Twitter it's at filmed by Gman because my username is taken. And you can also find me on our affiliated channel that we post occasional videos on, Tech for Thought.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Anthony?
Occasional.
Occasional. I am not really anywhere. I'm on Twitter, but I don't really post there. Same Antman19. And if you are wanting to kind of get in contact with me, I would do so by jumping on any of our kind of social media stuff because I manage all the site's social media channels.
All right. Very cool. You can find me on Twitter at InfuriousEllicon. That is at INFERIUSELLECON. And also, you can catch every one of us, excuse me, over on our community Discord. So, yeah, chat us up there if you're interested. Nerd Awakens says for Matthew to tweet more. All right. So, hopefully you got that.
press made.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week, same time, same place.
Thank you.
All right.